Is it a good time to buy Bitcoin right now? I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys asking me, especially because of Bitcoin's huge recovery from yesterday's low of 31,000. It is currently 3,800 as we're making this video. Ethereum had a low of about 1,700 yesterday and it's back up to 2,600. So if you had bought in yesterday, you would be making a lot of money. Now, if you're a new trader, please watch this video before you get into Bitcoin and buy a whole bunch, because you're afraid that it's just gonna go back up to its all-time highs and just go to the moon. In today's video, we're gonna be covering how do you make the most money out of Bitcoin and what you should watch out for, as well as the future outlook of Bitcoin. So my name is Curtis and I'm not here to give you financial advice, just here to share some of my opinions. Please do your own research before investing. If you're a new trader, there is a term that you should be watching out for, and that is called a dead cat bounce. So in investing markets, sometimes we will see these corrections, or you will see the market going downward, and maybe it's just going to go downward for a while. But even if it's going down for a long time, there is something called a dead cat bounce, where it will bounce up temporarily and then keep on going back down. Just as the reference of a dead cat bounce, if you had a cat drop down from, let's say, the 30th floor and it hit the ground, even if it died, it's going to have a short bounce before crashing down again. So this correction that we're seeing since yesterday, it could be the bull market is back. It could be a dead cat bounce. It could be we're going to stay right here. Now, there's so much volatility in the markets right now that no one is for sure certain. No one can predict exactly what is going to happen. So if you had missed out on yesterday's lows, do not worry. Do not just put all your money in and try to buy in right now. Should you buy in right now? Yes and no. I think it's always good to be in the market. However, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. You shouldn't buy in at the same time. Let's say if I had $100 and I wanted to buy into Bitcoin, I would not purchase all $100 today. I would buy $10 today, $10 tomorrow, $10 and so forth. Or you can dollar cost average on every dip. Some people do that, and whenever the market goes lower, they invest even more. So $10 now, let's say market drops 5%, I put $20 next time, and then it drops another 5%, then I put 40, and the lower it goes, the smaller chance of it dropping even more. So you're at a better risk ratio to put in more money. Now, there's no guarantee in these markets, but that is how you can limitize your risk while maximizing your reward. Dollar cost averaging is going to get you the most profits. Now, in this market, we are seeing 38,000 and then it just drops and it goes back up. We could be in this consolidation between these prices for a long time. So if you are a trader, and please do your own research before trading, there are a lot of opportunities to be made on the swings. Let's say you bought in at 1,700 Ethereum yesterday or 31,000 Bitcoin yesterday, and right now it's back up. You could have sold and wait for another dip and play on these swings. However, that is not recommended. I'm an investor, so I'm in it for the long term, and I'm looking at the future of cryptocurrencies, the future of Bitcoin, and how can I maximize that? Because I don't want to focus all my attention on this. Trading requires a lot of research, a lot of attention, and pretty much a lot of stress too. So you'd be glued to this. You wouldn't be able to work on other things. Now, if you are an investor, then you can just pick what it is that you believe there's a future in and leave it there, and dollar cost average buying in. Bitcoin, I currently believe, unless something changes, it has a bright future. It has the potential to be the global currency. It has the potential to reach 500,000 per Bitcoin, and I believe that. It's just so convenient. You take out the middleman. You don't have to worry about all the transactions. You just send it globally to somebody else and they receive it in their wallet. Of course, there's a lot of fears of safety and security, but Bitcoin is secure. It's just very unknown to a lot of people. It's just things that people don't understand yet, they are fearful of. But what you need to see, like you can see from the transactions, institutions are buying into Bitcoin at a large amount. Even with these dips, you can see that the most people that are selling are retail investors like yourself and myself, because we're seeing this volatility. We're having some fear, and then we panic, sell at lows, even if we had bought in at like 60,000. So you buy in at 60,000, and then you sell at 38,000. What do these institutions do instead? They wait. They will sell at the 60,000 because everybody is euphoric. All retail investors are saying Bitcoin is going to the moon. They know that these straight upward trends are unsustainable. What goes up must come down, even if it's just a correction. Even if for the long term, Bitcoin for sure is going to go to 500,000, there is no way it's going to be a straight line there. Of course, it's going to bounce back down and go back up and bounce. And with each correction, it actually brings more stability to Bitcoin because now there's a support. So with these institutions buying in, that's actually creating more support because they're holding in for the long term. As an investor, if you want to make money, because most investors lose money unless you're like the institution. So we want to think like the institution. We don't want to trade on our emotions. A lot of these institutions are using algorithms. They're using their own systems. They have highly trained traders, highly trained analysts to buy into these Bitcoins. And we want to be like them. Just think of it like a chess game or something. How can you win in this market if the majority are losing? You want to make the moves that the institutions are making. And what they're doing is they're buying up these dips. So if you like to make money for the long term, follow along, spread it out and keep buying in. Because let's say Bitcoin, even if it didn't hit 500,000, even if the goal was just 100,000 per Bitcoin, right now it doesn't matter if you're buying in at 38,000, you're buying at 31,000, let's say you bought in at 60,000, you will still make money in the long run if you had just bought in. However, if you panic sell, it doesn't matter what price. If you panic sold at a loss, then you're at a loss and it's hard for you to get back in. Let's say you had bought at 60,000 for Bitcoin and now it's at 38,000. If you had just held it all the way back up to 100,000, you would be at a profit. But let's say you bought in at 60,000, but you sold at 38,000 thinking, oh, it's just gonna get lower, I'll buy back in at 31,000. If it doesn't go lower, when are you gonna enter? Your Bitcoin amount is already less. As long as you don't sell, the amount of Bitcoin you have, doesn't matter if it's 0.1, doesn't matter if it's 1, doesn't matter if it's 100, that part doesn't change. What changes is the value of the dollar compared to the Bitcoin. And that is always going to fluctuate. So you want to hold on to it, especially if you have the conviction that this is going to last for a long time. So the big winners are always the people that look to invest in the long term. So watch out for dead cat bounces. Watch out for investing all at once. Do not panic sell. Dollar cost average in. Be a smart investor. Do your own research and test the waters a little bit. It's good to start investing a little bit if you have no understanding. Start understanding what gas fees are, and then you can see how you can make these transactions. It's a new learning process, but I believe there's so much opportunity. There's so much money to be made, but you have to get your skin in the game to understand it. And do not panic. Do not make rash decisions. Do not invest on your emotions. Invest wisely and for the long term. With that, I wish you guys the best of luck. I would love to know what your thoughts of the market right now, and what you're invested in, and if you like more updates like this. And I'll see you guys in the next one. My name is Curtis. Bye.